No, I did so many Ravi Shastri impersonations today. It's not funny on radio. Like every time it was something about the Indian team, they would be like, so Bharat, what do you think? Like, what's Ravi saying right now? Like, each and every one of you is a winner. You go out there, head up. We already won. This is like at lunchtime.
Who do you think is going to play him in the movie?
Not me. I'll play myself, I think.
No, Kumar Sangakkara is playing you, and apparently with Jasprit Bumrah's voice.
Oh yeah. Do I sound like Jasprit Bumrah? I don't even know what Jasprit Bumrah sounds like.
Hello and welcome to the good, the bad, and the ridiculous on the most ridiculous of ridiculous days in Test cricket that I can remember for a long time. At Shinod BM nominates Ridiculous Border Gavaskar Series 2020-2021. Yes.
The greatest series of all time.
It's a big call. It's a big call.
2005 Ashes. Don't believe these Australians and these, especially those English people who are, just because they won the Ashes, just because it was the Ashes and they were winning it after a long time, cannot make it the greatest series ever. Look at who India have used to win here, right? This is the greatest series ever. That's it, period. It saw everything. 36 all out, Kohli going back, injury, controversy, greatest win in Melbourne, greatest draw in Sydney, even greater win in Brisbane, Gabba streak gone, Undertaker on the floor, 1, 2, 3 streak over. Doesn't get better than this.
Better than 2001?
Yeah, I mean,
that is contenders. Better than 2001.
The only difference is because India won at home. It's a great series win, comeback win. But that was at home with like a proper batting lineup. The who's who of bat. Yes, VVS Lakshman became VVS Lakshman in that series, but yeah.
This is the greatest that I have witnessed. And if you talk about 2005 and Edgbaston and everything else, I guess the difference is that there were two sides that were probably pretty evenly matched.
Oh, yeah. Two very strong teams.
Absolutely. And with this was the story of the underdog who kept being kicked around and who kept coming back and punching. And I think that the fairy tale nature of this makes it something else. You had so many debutants. It was like every day there was a new incredible story about a player coming to the fore, a young player. Take your pick. There are more fairy tales in this than the entire collection of the Grimm brothers' work. It just doesn't happen in sport, and it happened here.
Grimm brothers or the Amar Chitrakatha? More fairy tale stories here than in the Amar Chitrakatha. I hope I'm saying it right.
I haven't read that one. At S. Bhavesh nominates Good. Pujara taking body blows like a warrior, like Beastie Boy has been taking it from Melinda Farrell the last few shows.
Yeah.
I won't do it tonight. It's all love and peace.
See, even if you do,
you'll keep bouncing back.
Because after Pujara, you have to be inspired to be like Pujara. No pain.
He was like one of those, those little toys that you stick on a desk that has a little spring at the bottom and you just keep flicking it over and then it comes bouncing back up. That basically was Pujara. The thing about Pujara too is even today, I saw all those people criticising him saying, shame Pujara's being so negative or India might have a shot at this. One of the big reasons India won this series is because of Cheteshwar Pujara and the fact that he knackered those bowlers and there he helped keep India in the spot where they had wickets in hand, they were tiring them out, he was seeing bowlers out of the attack, and that was a big part of why India found themselves in a position where they were able to push for the win. So there.
True. I can't argue with any point you made there. Like Rishabh Pant and Washington Sundar batted extraordinarily well, but it happened because Pujara just tired them. Just got Hazelwood to look at that pitch with so much disgust that after a point, they weren't running in with the same force. And the Indian team, I'm sure, will be having a great party tonight. And I know who Pujara will be going back with to his room tonight. The physio, of course. Who
Oh,
was,
yeah,
like,
of course.
you know,
Yeah.
Poor Nitin Patel. Yeah, both of them, like, have played an equal part in
Yes.
India winning this series.
Yeah. Pujara may have scored a half century, but it was the double century of balls that he faced that was probably even more important. At Sport a Smile nominates Good, the majestic innings of Shubman Gill.
Oof.
It's the sound. It's the sound of the ball on his bat. I would like someone to do some kind of remix or something that just has a series of balls hitting his bat.
No wonder he doesn't have a sticker on his bat. He wants the mark to show. The center of the bat is where the ball makes contact almost seamlessly.
At I'm Dev 9313 nominates Ridiculous. Pant dancing down the track to hit it over long on for a 6 after the previous delivery from Lyon turned more than a metre. Titanium balls on this man. Who said after Sydney that Vihari had like a hamstring that was made of some diamond material and that it should be immortalised in a museum. But then you could possibly put up some kind of representation of the skin of Pujara and Ashwin, some kind of decorative thing. I'm not sure if you really wanted a titanium balls kind of thing in a museum, in the same museum.
Firstly, titanium balls. Come on. Titanium testicles. I mean, that just has such a better ring to it.
Balls of titanium. I don't know. Testicles of titanium.
Yeah, testicular fortitude is what they say. Titanium testicular fortitude is what Rishabh Pant showed. You're very, very right in stepping down after the ball turned that much. And see, the whole talk was, is Nathan Lyon going to tempt Rishabh Pant into coming after him? And I tweeted this, I remember earlier. I said, was Nathan Lyon tempting Rishabh Pant, or was Rishabh Pant, by leaving all those deliveries, tempting Nathan Lyon to come to him? Aja. And then, as soon as he came down and ball gaya.
Well, and I don't know what Washington Sundar's nether regions are made of either, but like, that's the 6 and the boundary. I mean, there was a fair bit of titanium in that as well. What I think it shows too is when it was getting to that, these guys have played a lot of IPL, and when you talk about the fortress, Scabatoir and the pressure and test cricket and blah, 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 I don't know, these guys are probably looking at it knowing that they've been at Chinnaswamy, Wankity, all these places with thousands of screaming fans and been able to pull something like that off. So maybe that's the beauty of I guess, T20 cricket and Test cricket coming together, that you can have the titanium bits, but you can also have the skin of whatever that hard material was. Skin of steel. Balls of titanium. At Random Techie nominates Good, Indian team's strategy to keep both win and draw options open till the last session. They were preserving wickets, with Pujara there playing, very sensibly and patiently for quite some time. But then they were also just scoring enough runs to just keep it there.
What India did was they were playing two games. At the Pujara end, they were drawing the game. At the other end, regardless of whoever was batting, whether it was Gill at the start, or then Rahane, Agarwal, Pant, they were trying to win the game. So it's just the greatest strategy ever. And I don't know about 5D chess, this was 2D chess, and it worked out.
5D chess. At Not So Focus nominates Good, the signed jersey to Lyon at the end, though. I thought that was really classy. Yeah. Also, could be seen as it's not, but sort of quite subtle 5D chess trolling.
Oh, that would be... But
it's not, but like, yeah. Nathan Lyon's going to pull out that shirt with some really fond memories, isn't he? It wasn't. It was actually just a really nice gesture because they would have organised that before they knew what the result of the game was going to be.
I'm sure they weren't signing it while Rishabh Pant was hitting the winning runs. That would have been quite something. Ben Stokes hit the winning runs in Leeds. So, like, that picture has been... We've seen it 1,000 times already, the image. And one thing in that clip is, as he plays the shot, Nathan Lyon at point just collapses. Almost like one of those moments from a football World Cup. And today, go back and watch it. When Rishabh Pant has driven the ball and he's running across the ground, you see Nathan Lyon dropping to the floor. I mean, I felt a little, we said yesterday, he's been at the receiving end of the most ridiculous shots that have been played in Test cricket in the last couple of years. And in his 100 tests, that's not how he would have wanted it to end. not being able to bowl Australia to victory. But yeah, I don't know whether he's going to cherish that T-shirt or not, but he can't forget his 100th test. It happens only once.
At Phil Rhodes nominates, I think, is ridiculous. How does Kohli get back in the side?
I can talk about it. I don't have to go back to India. So.
Of course, Kohli's going to come straight back.
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the
I mean,
side.
this is, like I said earlier, this is Kohli's era. This is still
Yeah.
his team. It's incredible what they've achieved without him. And think about it, right? This achievement just has been magnified because of the absence of one man. Last time around, their victory was always had a rider attached because of the absence of two big names in the Australian team. It's just, again, whichever way you look at it, this is just the greatest series win of all time in any sport.
At Mohan Kumar JC nominates ridiculous. Pat Cummins steaming in all day until the very end. What a player. In the end, he looked like the only one, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I was actually wondering if some point that Tim Payne might consider bowling him from both ends, because it felt like that was the only way. He still was absolutely astonishing. I think he's still shown why he's the number one bowler
For sure.
in the world in this series, and he can absolutely hold his head high. He's come away from this series, I think, with his reputation having lost nothing at all.
And I think to an extent enhanced.
Yeah.
And going back to Leeds, I remember right after, Australia's seething, they've just lost Ben Stokes. He came down, signed a few autographs, did a little press conference with a bunch of Australian journalists, and he didn't lose his smile. Today, I think the smile eventually went. Like you said, with the second new ball, he got rid of Pujara, contentious LBW call, got rid of Mayank Agarwal, kind of kept Australia in the game. I said it on air. I called him Patrick Hercules Cummins, purely because he really had Australia, and Australia is a big country as well, continent, on his shoulders.
Anna Forsyth nominates good. Tim Payne's courteous invitation to the Gabba back in Sydney, knowing India would be successul there. Quite cheeky, actually. Ashwin's been quite cheeky on Twitter already, hasn't he? Shots fired, reminding...
Do we know what you're doing, Ashwin?
Yes, we do. Cheeky, but well trolled, well played. It came back massively to bite Tim Payne. It came back to bite him in Sydney, and it came back to bite him here. 1988, that record's gone, and we'll stop sort of hearing about that whole Gabatoir thing, I think, now for quite some time. But there are going to be a lot of questions asked of this Australia team. There have got to be places in that side that are very much up for grabs. We said before, didn't we, right from the start, that Australia's batting has some real cracks in it that have been papered over by Warner, Smith and Marnus for a while now. And that's not changed, except this time the papering didn't work.
Again, it just comes down to them not making 400. Getting into good, decent positions, actually very good positions like in Sydney, and just not making 400, 450 and stamping India out of the game. That's where they failed, and eventually it all catches up, right? It all comes back to bite you, like she said. And the reason I keep looking down there is my phone's there, and India's still supposed to do a Zoom press conference. It's been 3 hours since they won. I'm not blaming them for not doing it, but just in case you hear Ravi Shastri's booming voice, you know it started.
That's not the press conference. That's just him ringing you
Oh.
to say, Bharat!
I told you. Tough cricket is what we play. Tough cricket is what we came here to play. We came here to win a series, not a test match. Well done, Ravi. You've done it.
And Abby Cade nominates good. The way you and Bharat reviewed the series. Ridiculously good. If you both keep reviewing for the next series as well. Lots of love. Thank you for entertaining. Oh, thanks for that.
That's a lot of love. Yeah.
That is. Well, on that note too, before we announce the winners for the night, send us your nominations for the good, the bad, the ridiculous from the whole series in the comments section, or tweet them at us, because we're going to do a special series long, so big, good, bad, ridiculous for the entire series. So we'll do that tomorrow. So make sure you get your nominations in for the whole series. What was the goodest thing about today?
Oh, everything was good, man. Like, it was just, I can't pinpoint one thing. Yeah, Ravi Shastri hug to Rishabh Pant, a test debutant at 21, hooking the world's best fast bowler in that pressure under that. Because they'd bowled a couple of good overs there. And to just do that, Yeah, that stands out. Rishabh Pant being Rishabh Pant.
You know, I've always got a soft spot for Rishabh Pant.
Yeah, I do as well after the SCG nets. Yeah. So he said,
Okay.
तुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ, तुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ.
Yeah.
लेकिन thanks to you, हमें बहुत कुछ हुआ है.
I knew you'd come around eventually and see the light. What was the baddest thing about today?
Look, I'm an Australian correspondent now, so covering Australian cricket is actually what I get paid to do, and I felt bad for a couple of guys, Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood, because there was such a lack of support from the other end. Mitchell Starc had a shocker of a day. Nathan Lyon has had a
Shocker of a series.
shocker of a series, and in fact, like I saw the stats from the time Australia won in Perth. In the last 6 tests, he's taken now I think 13 or 14 wickets against India. That is not good enough at all for a world-class spinner like him, and that has been one of the main reasons India have dominated Australia, and they won 2 series. Yeah.
And what was the most ridiculousest thing?
One has to be the Shubman Gill uppercut of Mitchell Starc last over before lunch, and just the way he took down Mitchell Starc. Like, Mitchell Starc is the bully in the opposition, in a way, right? That's how they use him. And for young Shubman Gill to come there and bully him at the Gabba, well, all this talk of Gabbatoir, I think it vanished in that 1 over. But, okay, I'll keep it to 2. But for me, the most ridiculous moment of the day was Pujara taking blow after blow. Every part of his body was sore, from head to toe to groin to abdomen to finger. That didn't bother him. What bothered him? One floaty little butterfly which just flew past. I mean, that was the most ridiculous thing I can imagine anywhere in the world. It was just, it's like, punches, I'll take them on the chin. You hit me in the head and I'll look back at you. But one cute little floaty butterfly, that just sums up Cheteshwar Pujara for you. Peaceful.
Thank you. Hey, don't forget, we'll be back. We've got more
we're
coming.
not done. We're not done.
We're not done.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
No, leave the comments. I saw a lot of, we will miss you comments. This is just the beginning, brother and sister.
We'll see you tomorrow.
And for you sisters out there, come on. Show us some love as well. Like, so far it's been just a lot of my brethren who've been responding to us. Come on, we're good fun. Yeah.
Anna Forsyth was on it tonight.
Thanks, Anna.